Welcome to another episode of Snobcast. We have a very special guest today. Before I introduce him, got the regular co-hosts over here. Chef Tom.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm doing all right.
We're back.
It's
a bit cold.
It's a bit cold.
I wish I could see your nipples. I wish I could see your nipples through this.
You could probably see them.
I could probably feel them.
They're protruding.
Can I?
Yeah. There you go.
A little bit.
And Hype Man Steve is here as well.
I am. I was hoping my jacket would be a little thicker, though. I thought I was like, okay, but...
Steve, it's not time to take out the Canada Goose.
It's fall weather. It's not spring weather, Steve. You gotta... There's a whole other attire for that.
Yeah, but like yesterday was like ooh, it's
summer.
fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's Montreal. Introducing our very special guest. He is a comic that is incredible, and he's known all over North America. He's performed all over the fucking place. And he has his own festival. It's in the third year. COVID or not COVID, it's happening.
Is that the name of the festival? Because that would have been a sick name.
COVID or not COVID.
COVID, it's happening.
The one and only Franco Taddeo.
Woo!
Oh. Hi, guys. So nice to be on with you, even if it's in a physical distance kind of way.
Yeah, so Franco's on Zoom. He's not, as you can hear in the voice,
yeah,
he's not here.
Yeah, he's not here. There's always...
I'm not in the backyard.
Yeah, I know. You're not in the backyard.
No, he's warm inside.
Wait until the crickets come out.
Yeah, the last episode we recorded outside, there was a cricket just throughout the entire episode.
Yeah, the second we stopped recording, it went away.
Yeah.
May I just say that crickets wouldn't be the first time I've heard when I've been on something. Let me just say, it wouldn't be my virgin experience with crickets.
Oh, that must be a horrible experience. Like if you know,
What, like bombing?
Yeah,
Franco, tell us about bombing.
Yeah, let me see it. Wait, do you want which case studies do you want? Yeah.
What was the worst time you ever bombed? Like, what was the worst time you've ever bombed?
I'm trying to think. The thing about comedy, and I know, Jenny, you do it, and I believe at least one of your co-hosts has done it as well. Am I?
Steve, what I do with Steve is that I call him Hype Man Steve because it's so out of his comfort zone. So whenever we do the CLDV shows, he always introduces me, but I always tell him, okay, like 5 minutes before, Steve, you have to tell everyone to clap their hands really loudly and do a giveaway. Enjoy the show. And send them off, you know. So
that's the thing, right?
But he throws in jokes. He's had some good jokes. He's thrown in just to make the people go.
There's a little role play.
I try to get at least a chuckle going on.
Yeah.
He's trying to hype up, but he doesn't really hype up, you know.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's the thing about comedy, though, right? It's the immediacy of it. So when you're not doing well, unless you're like totally tone deaf to what you do, it's horrible. I think I'm there. You know, I've been doing this 22 years, and obviously there's times when I didn't do well, but I think more than not doing well is the times when you're on stage and it's humiliating. I'll give you a couple of examples.
Oh God!
Quite a few years ago, I got asked to do a private gig, some like club on Saint Laurent in Sherbrooke, and actually was opening for Sugar Sammy. Right, cool. This was before he broke and became like a mega star. And Sugar had asked me, he's like, hey, do you want to MC for me? So we get to the place, and these guys, they had more money than sense, right? So
Great start.
So they're like, listen, before Sugar goes on, we want you to introduce one of our friends. We always hear that, right? Because he's really funny. It makes us all laugh, but it's different, right? When you make your friends laugh, it's different than making strangers laugh. So whatever, they're paying, you know, and it's Sugar's show. They're paying us a ridiculous amount of money. Yeah. And Sugar's like, okay. And so I go talk to the guy. I'm like, listen, so you're going to go on. Tell me what you want me to say. And he's like, well, just say my name and mention my goat.
And I'm like, his goat? Like an actual goat, not like his goatee.
Yeah, he's like, no. He's like, I do a bit with a goat. I bring a goat on stage. And so here's the thing, though. I introduce the guy. He goes up on stage, and the goat is nervous. He's never been in front of like 60 people. I mean, maybe 60 is not a lot for us, but for an animal from
It's
a
like, what
farm,
the
it's
hell's
a
going
lot.
on?
But for a goat.
Well, kind of is.
Yeah, he gets nervous. He doesn't do whatever he worked at, and he defecates on stage. He shits. Yeah. And the guy's like, "Oh, this shit's not working." He walks off stage, and they're like, "Hey, go on stage." I'm like, "You guys are not going to clean the shit." They're like, "No, just continue the show." This is when you realize you're just a paid clown, right? You're just, and I'm like,
comedy is shit.
yeah. It's like, this is my life now. I'm going to step on goat shit and introduce Sugar Sammy.
You had to
Thanks for having
you did
me.
that show, and there was a pile of shit basically just on the floor.
Yeah, all over the stage. The goat got nervous, and he did what nervous goats do: defecated.
Did they
And this
clean
is
it
why
up
I
for
don't do
Sugar
five.
Sammy at least? Or they just left it on for Sugar? Everybody that like the
everybody-
shit
No,
was...
they didn't clean it. They didn't clean it for Sugar yet. He wasn't a big star yet. He wasn't a big star. Now they clean it.
Oh my
Before,
God.
they're like, "Hey, Packy, make us laugh." It was different.
This is why I never want to go up and do 5 minutes, because if I would walk on stage and there would be a pile of shit, if it's a pile of shit, then whatever, it doesn't smell. But if it's like I don't know what goat shit smells like.
Like shit.
It doesn't smell good. It's not an aphrodisiac. It's not an aphrodisiac.
How do you do that show?
There's a reason the cheese tastes so good, Tom. It's a lot of fucked up shit going on in there.
There's a reason the
true.
shit tastes so good. That should be their slogan for goat's milk cheese.
Goat's
yeah.
milk cheese,
Yeah.
But that's very interesting. And as a comedian, I mean, it's weird. I don't. It's 2 years I'm doing this, and I still don't call myself a comic. I'm more of a producer. But I like the spotlight, so I'm a bit of a shit like that, So like,
Speaking of shit, yeah.
You're the piece of shit on
I'm
stage.
the piece of shit
all
on
the
stage.
time.
But I like the spotlight, and I have some good. I do a lot of self-deprecating stuff and family stories and things. That's what gets me by. So but I enjoy doing it, and sometimes it works. Sometimes I bombed once really badly at my own show.
Oh, really? Was I there?
Yeah, you were there. Yeah, but then. I've done other shows elsewhere, and it's gone well. So I mean,
Yeah, I think there's more pressure when it's your own show, right?
Yeah,
Because when you're asked to be on someone else's show, it's not it's not your job to carry it, But
Exactly.
when you're doing your own show, a lot of the people come to see you. So there's that pressure of like, I want to make sure they leave happy. They're like, yeah, the show was good, but the guy I went to see, meh.
The host, he was a bit of a dick.
They call him the host with the most, but it's like the host with a bit.
Yeah, with a bit.
It's a bit.
And talking about talking about having your own show, you have your own fucking festival. Imagine, not a show, you have a festival.
The stakes
Yeah,
have
you know
been
what?
raised.
Actually, It's not Jenny. I can't really. It's not my festival.
Well, it's you and
It's,
Luigi. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Luigi's. He's the president, but more than that, he's the money. He's the guy that gets the
He's
sponsors.
the heart and soul.
We started. This is our third, as you mentioned. It's our third annual, and I was pleasantly surprised that we're going forward, and the reaction has been a lot more positive than I feared, honestly.
Yeah.
But about 5 years ago, he started talking to me about the way cities grow in Laval. If any of you have been, it's really like burgeoning. Yeah. As a city, and he's like, Laval's got like 23 shopping centers, but one museum. It doesn't have enough culture. So what do you think about, maybe helping me put together a comedy festival? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do it. And actually, more than that, he's like, Franco, you're very funny, but you're not well known. So how long are you going to do comedy for?
And you're like, okay,
Wow, go fuck yourself.
I guess I'll take the job.
So I'm like, okay, humiliate me just to keep my asking price low,
Yeah.
And he's like, you might want to eventually transition. This might be a nice transition for you. And it made sense on all levels, right? I know a lot of comics all over the country, and it is something that, like you producing, it gives you a more, I don't want to say power, but more sort of play within the community. Yeah. And so we're now in our third year, and every year has been better. I would say bigger, but this year is not bigger. We contracted just to survive and still be present, but every year has been better. So
yeah, and
we're in our third year now.
You guys already have a French gala that's sold out, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a first. It's our third year, and almost, I would say, easily 80% of our English shows have sold out.
Yeah.
And this is our first ever French a gala that sold out, and the festival is like 3 weeks away, and we sold out 2 weeks ago. So it's really nice that I never feared that we would be able to penetrate in the allophone or anglophone community, but I always was trepidatious about, will the French community that, Laval is, 80% French, like most of the province, would they trust a bunch of allophones to bring them good comedy? And after 3 years of work, I'm thrilled that, the show that Luigi gave me the money to put together has sold out and sold out that early. But honestly, between you and I, Jenny, a lot of it has to do with who you book, and having a megastar like Rashid Badouri really helps pushes ticket sales, So I can't take credit for doing it just for Luigi signing the check so I could book Rashid.
But also the fact that people are getting to see Rashid in a small venue.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, because Rashid plays like theaters, but I mean theaters are like, hundreds of people. This is like 100 people.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you're seeing Rashid in all his glory.
In his bigness, right? He's very big on stage, and you see it in an intimate setting. So that is quite an attraction. I know Luigi was telling me that, people are calling him and say, listen, can you squeeze us in? And it's COVID. You can't squeeze
no one in COVID. You can't do it, guys. And then you also booked Mathieu Cyr, who is hilarious. Like he might be probably one of the biggest Quebec comics rising up right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, as director of programming, my job is to put forth comics that I think the audience will really enjoy. But realistically, with the French market, I need to get them before they're at their apex of being stars. And Mathieu Cyr is right there. Yeah. He's just at the point of breaking. He's an internet star. He's young. He's good looking. He's funny. Yeah. And right now we can still afford him. And that's the sweet spot for me to book French acts. Because English acts, you'll learn the more you do comedy, there's this dichotomy between what French comics make and what English comics make.
I already know that, 100%.
Yeah. And it's not based on talent. I'm not denigrating what French comedy. It's just that in French, there's a captive market. And somebody that will cost me $15,000 in French, I can get for maybe $4,000 in English,
100%.
and same talent-wise, because that's the reality of the market, and that's something we have to maneuver. Yeah. Myself booking a festival or yourself booking a show.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. It's such a different market, and but I mean, you're booking a great show, and I mean, so you've got Mathieu Cyr is doing a solo show.
That's right. He's doing a one-man show. And it's his first one-man show, so he was thrilled to be able to. Sorry?
No, I didn't know it was his. I didn't know it was
his first. It's his first one-man show that he will be touring across the province, and he's debuting it at our festival, and it's selling pretty well. It's not sold out yet, but it's selling pretty well.
But that's good. So there's still some tickets left for that, and I mean the French gala sold out, and then you got the Ethnically Correct for the third year in a row.
Right.
Ethically.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we basically.
Which you host.
Ethnically correct. Yeah. I'm hosting. This is kind of the centerpiece of the festival. The first year we did the festival, it was the first show to sell out. Last year we sold out 2 galas. I believe you were at one. Did we not see one another?
Yeah, because I had met Dini.
Was it Nee?
No, at Dini.
Oh, Dini.
And at Frank Spadone and Angelo Tsaroukas' show. And she was like, hey, come. And I was like, okay. So I just followed along. And and John was there.
That's
John
right.
Turquoise was hilarious, and you obviously, and a bunch of other. Eddie King was also there. Yeah.
Eddie, that's right, and Pino Perillo was on.
Pino is just Pino. No, I have to mention.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites, and so it's a perennial favorite. So I mean, I guess it was a no-brainer to bring it back. Yeah. And and we're doing the 3rd edition, and then we have. Part of my mandate, kind of like yours, but part of the mandate that Luigi gave me is that sometimes our community, whether it be the Anglophone or the Allophone community, is kind of underserved in this new Quebec. So if I can give a platform to like really talented comics, and so with that in mind, we have our first one-person English gala, which is Derek Seguin, was voted, funniest comic in Canada. Tours all over the country. He's a CBC debater's favorite, and that's selling exceptionally well.
Derek's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious, and he's, and no show is ever the same. And so I like that. The festival has something for all flavors. I mean, normally we'll do more shows, but this year we just, in Luigi's words, we wanted to exist to still be in people's minds and have a continuity. And then next year, hopefully, this pandemic is under control or ideally gone, and we can, prosper a bit more. Yeah. But, edition 3 is what it is, and we're looking forward to it.
I agree. It's weird because I'm doing a lot of the talking. I'm sorry, guys.
No. I just every time I hear that now, because everybody. Pretty much everybody now just wants this pandemic to go away.
Either go away or be under control.
Yeah, be under control. But I feel like after this, it's as if people are going to start purposely coughing in each other's faces.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just to get it out. Oh my God! Finally, people are together now again.
Yeah, all this phlegm that I've been holding in for 8 months.
I just want to go around and cough on people.
It's so interesting because I saw that you had announced the festival. You and Luigi had announced the festival, and I wasn't sure to put on my own show, and then I was like, fuck, they're putting on a festival, multiple nights. Let me test the waters and see if there's anything available. Obviously, I would never compete with the dates that you were of the festival, so I did it 2 weeks earlier.
No, of course.
And I was
but I think what you do is, I think especially, I was talking about underserved community.
Yeah.
It's nice to have good comedy in St. Leonard, right? It's nice that Laval has a festival and that also has room for, English-speaking artists, because veux pas, the reality is there's less of us because it's a dwindling market. So if we can still highlight these talents before, for example, in Ethnically Correct, as you know, Andrew Searles, who's a Montrealer,
he
lives in LA, and he's coming in. Santino Espinoza lives in New York, and he's coming in. So to get the diaspora back, but it also shows that, Jenny, I've been doing this 22 years.
Yeah.
There's literally 36 Montreal comics that I know that I did comedy with that are either in Toronto, LA, New York, Vancouver, because our community is dwindling. So anything that can give us work and wonderful venues to work in, whether it's your venue that you do at LDV or the way Luigi puts together a festival, is something as an artist that I really appreciate.
Yeah, the venue you use, Cabaret in Laval, is incredible.
Where is it?
It's first rate.
It's in Laval. Yeah, it's in off Saint Martin. It's really.
It's just off Saint Martin in the heart of Greek Laval, Chamonix. But the venue is stunning.
But between us, it used to be a strip club, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you tell the owners, they're going to get super pissed. They're like, dis-le pas, Calice.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, because
so much rich history there.
The stage is super high, and there's smoke that comes out of the stage.
Yeah. I don't know what show you were at last year, but we did 2, Ethnically Correct. And one of the shows, there was a new sound guy, and he made the things explode on stage, and Dini didn't know, and it scared the shit out of her. It took her 90 seconds to get back in her routine. And I know 90 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a really fucking long time when there's 200 people watching you.
No wonder the goat shit himself on stage.
I'm gonna pass the mic to my co-host here because I'm literally, like I said, I like the spotlight. So I know Steve wanted to ask you a few questions, and
it's nice that you would defer to your underlings. It's
so gracious.
I'm just here. I'm just auditing. So I'm just here for tax purposes.
I passed the mic to Hype Man Steve.
Yeah, Frank, I wanted to ask, because like you mentioned before, you've been around the country, North America, all that. You get to see a lot of Canada. Most of us don't, actually, which is kind of unfortunate. Myself, I've only been to outside of Quebec, Ontario, which is probably kind of sad.
Man. You really suck.
But what do you love about traveling around Canada performing shows, and is there a place in particular that you like outside of your hometown, of course?
What I think, comics by nature were curious people, and what I love, my favorite thing about doing this job is meeting people. My favorite city by far is Vancouver. I really love all of British Columbia. I love Victoria. They say that it's very quiet. The thing about Victoria, they're like,
it's like
either
like suburbs,
newlywed or nearly dead, right? 2 reasons. But as a person from the Mediterranean, like us, their climate is amazing. Look, what is it, September 14th, and it's practically winter chez nous. You know, I have a hard time with that. So but Vancouver is an amazing city. It has a wonderful mix of cultures. A lot of strong Asian influence. The city is just beautiful because you can see the ocean and the mountains. It's much warmer, but I don't mind. I'm older now. I don't mind going. Like I spent a month in Saskatchewan doing a kind of hockey galas. Kind of like we do fundraisers. They do with Mike Dambra, who's a comic originally from New York who now lives in Edmonton. And I didn't mind there because I know it's temporary. Like I spent a month in Saskatchewan in February.
See, that's interesting because like Saskatchewan, I just think like, what do you do? But see,
that's you don't do much. You drink rye. You do shows, and
sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah. But the thing is, you get to travel for free, or they pay you to travel, right? Yeah. And that is an amazing thing. I mean, they don't pay us a lot to travel, but they pay us. And I think that's one of the really solid perks of being a comic is you get to see the country, or you get to see. I've been lucky to be in a lot of places in the United States too. Not now.
Unless you have your hazmat suit.
But definitely in this country, I think my favorite city, other than Montreal, I mean, Montreal with all its warts and wrinkles and foibles there'll be no place in the world like it.
Yeah, but I think it's unique in North America itself, Montreal.
Yeah, and it's unique also in the fact that, look, we're four ethnic guys, and the ethnicity in Montreal is so much stronger. Like most Italian guys in Toronto or Vancouver don't speak Italian anymore.
Yeah.
And the fact that a Greek Montrealer is totally different than a Greek person in Vancouver. An Italian Montrealer is totally different than an Italian person in Toronto. We're less Canadian, for better or for worse. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that we do, and I think that's one of the successes of what Gianni does, or Ethnically Correct, is that people come to the show and they're like, that's my life. And we represent them on stage.
Yeah. Would you say there's a place in particular that you could kind of, since as a comedian, that you could draw a lot of work from? Is there a place that's kind of, people are like maybe a little off-brand, or the place is just kind of weird in general? Is there like kind of, you ever go somewhere and you're like, what kind of upside down shit is this?
Look, I think that all of us, especially comics, we're observers, and we like to look at differences. So wherever I am, I always feel like the outsider, and I think that's the key to comedy. I always say that, I'm an Italian Montrealer, I'm an Anglophone Quebecer, and I'm a Quebecer in Canada, I'm a Canadian in North America. All those things have minorities. So wherever I am, if I'm in Calgary and I look at what they deem as normal as a Montrealer, I'm like, that's fucked up. It's like, it's like, well, what do you mean you're putting I'm not kidding, right? You're putting cream cheese and cannoli and adding sugar. That's not cannoli, And Calgary, they're like, no, but it's delicious. But it doesn't matter.
Listen, bud, all right? That's not how it works.
It's not how it works, And so we always look at things as the outsider. And when I'm in the States and I'm in a grocery store and there's a person walking with a gun in a holster and no one bats an eye, we're like, dude, I'm sorry, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't tell them because I want to live, but So we always look at it as the outsider, and because we're outsiders, there's always fertile ground to make fun of,
Yeah, for sure. And I get it. I go too far west on Jean Talon. I'm like, where the fuck am I? So I can imagine.
But you don't stop. You keep going. You love picking up that culture. That's why, Steve, you got to open up like a cultural house in Laval or something.
And
you got to
be like, listen, these are the peoples of Quebec.
Have you got
peoples of Quebec?
No, but Laval is fine, but you have to go to Bay d'Urfé and bring culture.
There's some places that, like the boonies of the surrounding area of Montreal that there's nothing.
Oh well.
You know what, guys? Honestly, not to denigrate anybody, but whenever I leave the island, I'm like, where the fuck am I?
Why can I turn right on red?
Who are these people? Who are these people?
Yeah. But because it's hard, it's easy to lose track that we're from one of the biggest cities in the country, and I mean.
But it's not only that; it's multicultural.
Well, multicultural. Yeah. It's a big city. Yeah. It's filled with different kinds of people. I mean, go outside, and anywhere else in any country, people are just all the same brand
it's
of white bread. So
it's all white bread, right?
That's it.
It's all
white bread. On the highway, Steve, no matter where you're going, you're always going to pass by a Miss Patat. It doesn't matter.
I'll pass you to over here to Chef Tom, and we'll do some damage over here.
Actually, I have kind of not really a personal question. Because
Whoa, that's what he likes personal questions, Franco.
Oh yeah, personal.
Gianni has been actually Gianni and Steve have been trying to get me to do 5 minutes at CLDV, and I'm super hesitant because I feel like I don't know.
He's more hilarious than the two of us.
No,
together.
I am not. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna shit like the goat. Don't do that.
Yeah, shit like the goat.
It's but
might be a little bit bigger than the goat.
I did have minestrone tonight, so you know what I mean. It's gonna be interesting. No, but if to like you. Like, to somebody who is like on the fence about doing that, like what advice could you give to like getting up there and going to do that first 5 minutes?
I would say, first of all, if they're pushing you and if they're good friends, is you can't teach funny. So if they think you're funny, I think it's something you should consider. I will never tell you have to or you don't have to do it. But if they think that you're funny, you should consider it. Also, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Look, the first time you do it, unless you're like a wizard, it's not going to be exceptional. It's kind of like the first time you have sex, right? You're like, man, I wanted to do this all the time, and you're like, man, it wasn't that great. And then you think about it, you're like, well, you know what? In hindsight, it was pretty damn good. I want to do it again. It's the same thing.
Getting out there and sinking threes all the
Comedy is the same thing, and be yourself. I think right now, with art, people are looking for a personal perspective. It's like anyone that's an influencer on social media is if they portray their real self, people buy into that. If there's a facade, people are not going to buy into it. So if you decide to do it, if they think you're naturally funny, you should consider it and be yourself. People will buy into that. Even if yourself is being awkward and uncomfortable and shy, it's normal. It's like the first time we're naked. We're shy and comfortable.
Remember the first time I saw you naked, Tom?
Oh, remember that? Jesus. No, but like it must be like just when we used to go and set up for CLDV.
Yeah.
Just getting on the mic, and just in front, like there's nobody there. There's nobody there. It's him and Steve, and it's is this thing on? and it feels like.
Yeah.
You know what? I totally get it. If I can, like, from personally, the first time I did comedy was at the Comedy Works. They used to have open mic on Monday nights, and you used to call, and hopefully you would get on. And the first time it would be on a Monday night, and they would let you know Saturday afternoon that you're on. And I couldn't eat for 2 days. Oh. That's how nervous I was, right? And then I was up on the second floor of a club on Bishop Street, and there was this comic who was eating a hot dog and fries like 10 minutes before we were going on, and I hadn't been able to eat for 2 days. And I don't know who this guy was, but he was right there. He was my fucking hero. I'm like, this guy can eat. And this guy, I've never seen him again.
He never made it.
Whatever. And I make a living doing this, but what I'm saying is, it's totally normal to be nervous. I couldn't eat for 2 days.
But Franco, do you have like a juju that you do before each show? Like, do you not? Do you still not? Because I know, like, for me, I can't eat.
Do you still bring the goat with you to shit on stage?
Hey, next time I'm on this podcast, we're bringing a goat. I'm telling you right now.
No, but like, for example, like I can't eat like let's say like 8 hours before the show.
He just drinks about half a bottle of Jameson.
I just drink.
So you know what? I can't eat. It's not that I try not to eat, because when you're on stage, you want to be light, like especially if it doesn't go well, you want to know where the nearest exit is and take off, right? But I try not to. I usually am, because you have butterflies, and it's what you're doing with them. Yeah. I usually don't eat 2-3 hours before, but I was going to say I do. I used to do a lot of galas and fundraisers, and they give you like 4-course meals, and I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I'll eat it now. It's not that I'm nonchalant about it, but it's just that I've been doing it long enough.
Yeah.
And I always used to have this ritual, is like, I can't go on unless I have one alcoholic drink before, right? Yeah. And then I started to think, like, maybe it's a crutch. And there are times, for example, I've done shul, synagogues, right? Orthodox, where they don't serve alcohol. So I didn't have a choice. And it still went well. So I realized that it was just something that it was a sort of a superstition that wasn't helping me. So if I can, I still like to have at least a drink before I go on. But if not, it's fine. I'll still go on.
That must be such a different crowd.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how do you gauge? So you say you're playing for like a bunch of Orthodox Jews and like
Yeah, I've done at least a half dozen shul synagogues across Canada.
Do you change your material completely, or do you just improv that entire thing?
So what I do is, and again, so two things. One is obviously you can't use bad language, right? And it's the same thing for corporate shows, right?
Yeah.
But what I do is I talk to them like they're outsiders and I'm an outsider. So I'm like, hey, what Canadians eat is ridiculous, right? They're like, yeah. Hey, how French girls have sex at 14 is ridiculous. They're like, yeah, right? It's things we, so they're like, he's one of us. He's making fun of les autres, right? And that's the key, to make them feel part of you, that your experience is their experience. And then they'll, as they say in French, ils embarquent, you know?
Yeah. That's it. That's fun. That's interesting. And then also, it's funny how you mentioned the drink as a clutch, because I feel like for me, every time I go on, I need to have a gin tonic or a gin soda. But that's already on stage for me, so like it's there. So like I know if you do that one joke that kills, and you have the clap, everyone wants the clap, right? Not literally the clap, but like.
There's some people that want that too. I don't know.
The physical.
You know what's funny is, the clap originated from fucking goats. So there's all coming back together.
Full circle. Full
Look at all dovetails.
It's like every comic wants their joke to get a clap, and like so you could sip that drink. Like just, But it's interesting that you say that. I mean, and like. I don't know.
Yeah, I just find probably you're probably the same. Is that drink sort of takes the edge off,
Yeah, and I know that it's there. I'm like, oh, it's there.
Yeah.
I'll have it, and then I'll have 5 more after I'm done.
We're also not gonna lie. Like, it's Friday night. I know.
Not
like,
tonight,
look, it's Monday night, and we're already we got some of this going. When it's Friday night, I'm pretty sure that if you're gonna be at your show, you're gonna want to have a drink.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I think like what we do is we distract people from life, right?
It's an escape. It's an escape.
Of course, I love the attention of being on stage, and it's important for me to get paid. It's how I feed my family and stuff. But to me, the most gratifying thing is after a show, people will come up and they're like, you know what, I had a really hard week and I needed to laugh. Thank you. And comedy done right is therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franco, when are you going to come do my show?
You know what? I just asked and I'm there, and we were supposed to do it, right? And then COVID.
But then I don't want also the whole people to see you before Laval en Rire, so like I kind of just
I know it's very.
We'll make it happen in 2021. We'll make it happen. How about
he
that?
doesn't want you that bad. He's fucking lying. He's fucking lying. You hear these excuses? No, we don't want you before your show.
Yeah. No, but in 2021 we'll do it. We'll do it like if everything is safe and everyone is ready to go out. Like literally, the shows that we're doing, like you and I, are like they're tests, because there's the majority of the people that still want to stay home and will not go out until there's like a cure. But there's the other half of the people, like me, I'm like dying to go out. I'm like dying to go. To do something.
I feel like I'm on the fence with that. I feel like I'm on the fence with it because I want to go out, and I have been going out, but then I feel guilty that I'm going out because
why?
I don't know.
For me, it's that the first thing I told LDV when we had a meeting to like, hey, do you want to bring it back? Was would I be comfortable enough to go to this show? And I am.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, you want to put, part of what we do is to put people at ease. Yeah. The last thing you want them to do is come into a context where they're not at ease, and they're not going to laugh if they're not comfortable, right?
100%. And I mean, you also, your venue is like almost twice the size of mine. So you're having 100 people, which we're allowed. We're allowed by law 100 people. And like you're like 100 people, it's safe. Like I would go to that show and just be safe, like. Yeah,
like our capacity is 208, and we're selling, I think, 102 tickets. So yeah,
So imagine.
But having never done your show,
no,
I don't know what your capacity is, but as long as to pick up on what not Thomas,
Steve
was saying.
I was talking about the goat shitting.
Yeah, the goat. never have told that story.
Never.
I can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
Is that if you go out and you wear a mask until you sit down, you're socially distant, you wash your hands. I think you're taking all the precautions you need to, and you're safe. And I'm sure that's what's happening at your shows, and that's what's happening at our festival.
100%. And I mean, if you want to keep the mask on during the show, keep the mask on. I'm not gonna stop you. But the thing is, if you want to take it off when you're sitting down, take it off.
Oh my God! Imagine you hear muffled laughter with them sound like you can't tell anybody's laughing.
But
it can't be fun.
No,
it can't be fun.
And you're like breathing in the material.
In a thread, somebody starts coughing, everybody runs away.
But yeah, I think we have a bunch of rules set by the government for a reason. It's how to kind of proceed with doing things in a safe way. And I think if people follow those rules, we could all have fun in a safe way.
Look, my show usually is 160 people. That's like I'm like really pushing it 160. Okay? That's because I want everybody to have a seat in the room, But now we're doing 60 people. We're advertising 50, but the other 10 is sponsors. So I mean, it's 50 people.
Right.
So it's and that's what it is. So and it's safe but I'm looking forward to coming to Laval Laughs Festival. Just to see how you guys are doing. You guys, it's good that
Wait, is ours before your show?
No, mine is the end of the month, September 25th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the festival. Just so we're letting everyone know, it runs from October 2nd.
That's right, to the
9th.
10th.
The 9th.
The 9th. Yeah. So we have there's an English weekend and a French weekend.
Okay. So it's the 2 weekends.
That's right. It's the 2 weekends.
Got you. And then
yours is
September 25th.
Okay.
So come if you want.
How do you? Yeah, you know what? I'm not booked. I'll come. How do you? I've never done your show, but I know a lot of the comics that are on your show.
Yeah.
So how do you? Is it a bilingual show? Because you have some French comics. You have some. How does it work?
Yeah. So it's bilingual. I've always wanted the bilingual aspect to the Comedy Lounge. It's just because when CLDV approached me to put the show together, I said, I'll do it, but I don't want the stereotypical Italian show.
Yeah, because everybody does that at LDV anyway.
Yeah. So I said,
Italian. I don't want to say ghetto, but Italian comics that just serve our community and serve it well. They all go to LDV.
So I said, hey, I'm gonna bring in a good friend of mine, Reginald Saint-Éloi, who's Haitian.
Oh my God, and he kills.
I'm gonna bring him.
Yes,
I'm gonna
see him. I don't know.
Yeah,
him, I don't know.
You should come see him. Come. And then Emile Corey, who you've been on a show with a few weeks ago. Emile either does French or English, depends on how he feels that night, which is always a surprise to me. And then I like getting either a really strong English act for 15 minutes or a really strong French act for 15 minutes, and then the headliner. But the headliner, I like to usually do English. Just because I feel like the attention span is a bit.
Didn't you do a couple of them with a French headliner? You had
I did
Sébastien.
I did Eddie King. Eddie King did both. He did French and
English.
Eddie.
I mean, Eddie's wonderful in French or English.
Yeah, so he did both, and but Sébastien Bourgault, he does the
English
franglais.
He does neither French nor English.
Did Alexandre?
He wasn't a headliner.
No,
he wasn't a headliner.
No, Alexandre Douville, who we cannot talk about anymore. He's laughing.
What happened?
Yeah,
we'll talk about it after the show. But
off camera.
Yeah.
But we had him on one show, and I had Mike Patterson headline that show, and Mike Patterson came up to me and he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me? You put Alex Douville before me." He was like so fucking nervous, But yeah.
Did Mike do French or English?
He did English at that show, but he did well. Mike is it. You look at him and you laugh.
Mike is that like 11-year-old that never grew up, right?
Yeah. And he has a kid. You're like, what?
Yeah, he has a kid. Yeah.
But
his wife has a kid, and she lets him around the child supervise.
Yeah,
but it just goes to show you how diverse that Italian community that comes to see us is, because the French people, they slay.
They kill the room.
Yeah,
they
honestly,
kill the room.
Yeah, the French comics that I've booked, I've been very grateful and very that have been so great.
Oh my God!
Like that even the majority Italian crowd is like, who was that person?
They love the French
that's so
acts.
cool.
They love the
You know?
French acts.
So like I love that shit. Like so for me, like I love booking a really strong like French act.
But you're also getting people out of their show because I feel
Yeah.
like the Italian community is going to come and they're expecting to see an
Yeah.
Italian comedian
Yeah.
or a bunch of Italian. It's not super fantastico. We're not
Yeah.
we're not doing that.
But you know what's
Yeah, because
fun?
none of us can carry a tune.
But you know what's fun, Franco, about both our shows is that I like getting people from outside of the community coming to the show.
Yeah.
So like when you see ticket sales for Laval Henri and you're like, oh, this person's coming from the West Island, you're like, how the
Yeah.
fuck?
You
like,
had people
yeah,
from
like-
Detroit come.
I had people
Yeah.
from Detroit that came to my show.
Wow.
I said, how the fuck? Like,
But well, maybe they're in town because we
Yeah.
had people from Detroit too, but they're Greek and they were visiting their family in Chomedy.
yeah, no,
right?
these
Wow,
were these were Jews. So I don't know.
Same thing.
Visiting their people in Chomedy.
But it's just to say, I love when the ticket sales, like the receipts come in, and I get to look at the emails, and like I'm like, oh my god, someone from the West Island is coming to Saint Leonard. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes,
You're making the trip
Like-
out. Il Pero.
Like,
Wow,
let's
did
do
you
it.
pack a lunch?
No, I actually think, jokes aside, I had a Bay Durfee one. I think the other day. I was like,
Wow.
what? Like, what the hell's
That
going on?
that is pretty impressive.
But I mean,
guy probably was
Maybe
transporting
they were
some
coming
raw
home to
movement.
the ancestral
Yeah.
homeland.
but
It's like, oh, do you know Tiffany? My granddad grew up in this neighborhood.
oh, shut up, granddad. You know.
I can't find any scones anywhere in St. Leonard.
So you and Luigi Morbido, is Luigi going a bit crazy? I know how he is. He's a bit.
Yeah, he's very, what is it, type A? You know, very,
yeah.
So basically, like, my job is, like, I book it, right? I book
Yeah.
it, and sometimes they'll ask me to perform. But after that, in terms of marketing, they have a team. It's called Carbure. Luigi and Melissa, who's director of operations, they
Yeah.
take care of the ticketing. All they'll tell me is, like, promote your show or tell the comics to promote their stuff.
Yeah.
I'll send them the pacing for the shows or whatever. But essentially, once the shows are booked, my job is done, other than what I do on stage or what I tell the comics to do on or off stage. But all the logistics they take care of. And we're a small team, but it's a really effective team.
Yeah, you guys are great. I mean, it's 3 years in a row that I deal with you guys because I'm also the writer on the side, So, but now we have
Right, of course, yeah.
now we have-
By the way, I want to say, just as an aside,
Yes.
that's how I first got to know you, is your
Yes.
movie reviews, and they're fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm serious. What I
you.
love is that you're honest. If something's not good, you'll say that it's not good, but you also won't denigrate the art because you know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
And when I read your reviews, a lot of times it entices me to watch something, and I think that's the best compliment I can give.
Wow, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And
I'm still waiting for you to review Mulan.
It's coming out tonight.
It's coming out
after
tonight.
We're, after we're
I
done the
can't
podcast.
wait.
Mulan.
I can't wait what you have to say for.
It was shit, but it was just like the goat shit.
Yeah, nice.
No, but in all seriousness, now en plus, aside from my journalism stuff, which I never studied, I just love to write. You have a festival coming up. Tell Andrew or tell Santi to come on this podcast.
Absolutely.
were-
Absolutely. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we can do the next 2 weeks. I mean,
Or
like,
even Derek. Have you had Derek on?
I haven't had Derek on yet. No.
Yeah, I'll ask Derek. I'll ask Andrew, Santi.
We could do this. I mean, until the festival comes. I mean, let's get this shit out. You
Oh
know what
my
I mean?
God.
Yeah, no, you know
Promotion.
what? We appreciate the support.
And I mean, just out of curiosity, Andrew and Santi, like are they quarantining? Like, how does it work for them?
Yeah, so Andrew came in Sunday,
Okay.
and he's quarantining already. He's in Montreal. We just did a City TV interview this afternoon
Okay.
from his bedroom and my
Your house.
living room.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. It's a big ask, right?
Yeah.
To ask them to come and quarantine. Luckily, both of them, as I mentioned, have family here.
Right.
So it gives them a chance to see their family. But, once their quarantine is done, they have some shows lined up and they'll be ready for our festival.
Yeah. I have two last questions before we let you go. Who would you like who would you cite as some of your comedic influences, like growing up?
So I growing up, because I'm 50, like the first guy that made me look at stuff and say that I could do that is like Eddie King. Eddie Murphy.
Shout out.
Eddie
Shout
King
out.
is really old.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy with Raw and Delirious, and because that was the kind of comedy that spoke to us.
Yeah.
But later, as like my comedy tastes evolved or refined, then I started to look at new one. Like, for example, there's a comic that I used to love. It was Richard Jenny. I don't know if you know him. He's
Richard Jenny,
Italian-American out of Boston.
But he gone too soon, man.
Exactly.
Shit.
Like an amazing storyteller, talk about, life and make it funny.
Yeah.
And this, comics were all tortured souls, right? This is the guy, he killed himself, even though he was one of the top grossing comics in North America because he never got his own TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all becomes how you gauge success. To me, he's my idol, and he killed himself because he thought he was a loser.
You guys kind of look alike. Fuck. Now that I think of it, you guys kind of look alike.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know who you're insulting, me or him.
Oh my God.
No, but minus the blonde hair. I mean, Richard had dark hair, but
I love how this went from
Anyways.
the guy killed himself. You guys kind of look
alike,
alike.
huh?
You have any suicidal thoughts, Franco?
Would you mind putting a noose around your neck?
Step away
Just so
from
I
the
can.
ceiling. Jesus Christ.
No.
Wait, what am I, a black NASCAR driver? What the hell?
Oh,
Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much. Just got
Let me
canceled
just
in the
say,
Netherlands.
Black Lives Matter, man. They matter.
Yeah.
1000%.
They do. So Richard Jenny,
Richard Jenny, and like Robin Williams was kind of my idol because of the way he improvised.
Yeah.
And then it shattered my heart when I found out that Robin Williams had, let's not to talk ill of the dead, but he had the reputation of being one of the biggest thieves in comedy. Like he would go to open mics in LA and then do that unknown comics material on the Tonight Show. And his theory was the joke belongs to the first person that does it on TV. And it was so bad. Yeah. And it was so bad that when Robin Williams would walk into the back of the room, a lot of comics would refuse to go on. Right. Because he was a brilliant improviser, but he couldn't write a joke.
Yeah.
And, and he was one of my idols. So thievery is it's thing that's been in this business for the longest time. Mm-hmm. Like in the 50s in the Borscht Belt comics, there was this saying that comics used to say, he's so funny that I dropped my pen, right? Because they were writing people's jokes, right? And it's something you have to deal with. But yeah, Robin Williams was definitely, in terms of his improvisational skills, one of my heroes. Richard Jenny in terms of being a storyteller, and and Eddie Murphy in terms of making you feel like his life could be your life. So, obviously I'm not an amalgam of any of those three, but those are the people that thought maybe I can make a career out of this.
So, Laval en Rire Festival Laval Laughs is happening October 2nd to the 9th at Cabaret C in Laval, Quebec. Be sure to get your tickets. Already one.
Yeah, it's just all the W's, Festival Laval Laughs or Festival Laval en Rire, depending on your linguistic orientation.
Yes, and I mean, like we said earlier, already one gala is sold out. Get your tickets quickly. Franco Taddeo, you've been amazing. Thank you for taking the time with your with your family and everything, for talking with us fucking losers. And
wow, speak for yourself.
Wow. But
come on, you enjoyed the goat. Come on.
I might actually purchase one. Fill up this yard.
Be sure to check out Laval en Rire. Fuck. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's support live comedy and support local businesses and local festivals, obviously.
Get out there.
Franco, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. And hopefully, sooner rather than later, we'll get to do this in person.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Snobcast. Let's give it up for Franco Taddeo. That was great. What a great guy.
Yeah,
he's. I can't believe a goat shat on stage, and he did it.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I don't know. If I guess you want to shit on the stage the next time I go on stage.
If Steve, your host, with the. And it just comes out.
Steve, would you shit on stage before I go on?
Oh my
Probably,
god!
yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because you hate me.
Well,
imagine. Just let
I
it
try to
trickle.
leave it right where you get on, so I feel like you're
like when I do that
on.
first step. Yeah.
Like hopefully it catches you.
So it catches you. You lose your grip. Your shoe just slides off.
I'm gonna shotgun it too to make sure you have no step.
Wow! I thought you had more respect.
Oh.
If you want,
yeah, we thought.
If you want for your anal health, I could get you that thing that you're supposed to put your feet on.
Oh, for the perfect shit.
For the perfect shit. So you squat as if you're in like a third world country. They got it right. They might not have walls, but at least they shit properly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't have everything.
You know, trade-offs.
Trade-offs, you know what I mean? Clean shits versus walls.
Like I don't know if I think about it. Which one do I want more?
I don't know. Okay, here we go. So, would you trade? Okay, well, it's not really okay. I don't know how to say this.
Wow,
like,
are you gonna be politically incorrect?
No. Hold on a second. It's the whole walls versus shits. So would you rather take shits that you never had to strain ever? You could eat pasta for like fucking like every meal 3 times a day for 7 months, and go to the bathroom like you wouldn't even have to force. It wouldn't even be like it would just come out.
To get to the point.
But no doors in your wherever you live. You don't have doors. Would you take that as a trade-off? No doors.
I'll make Steve answer this one.
Effortless dumps.
I'll make Steve answer this one.
You ready?
Yeah.
No.
Effortless.
I
Those nights when we're binging, when we rip through fucking 4 pizzas from Domino's.
I could teleport.
We're fucking drinking a bottle.
No, like I need ultimate privacy on that.
But you could just close the light.
No, but here's the thing,
No.
because when Steve even goes to shit in a public restroom, which is not, good for anybody.
Public is
No,
fine.
I'm sorry. No, I'll rephrase that. Sorry, I messed up. If Steve uses a public restroom, he will, even if he has to just piss. Sorry, that's what I got wrong. If even he has to piss, he will go use the office.
I'll use the office.
The stall, the closed stall.
Because my dick's out.
Okay, what if
Except for that time at the Bell Center.
would
Oh,
you
that-
trade like effortless shits but like you would have paper thin walls?
Well, if you just have a wall, you're covered, I guess.
Yeah, as long as you don't see me.
Yeah, but everybody hears like
I mean,
the
Well,
little
who hasn't heard Steve's shit? Let's
the
be
little
honest.
the little like idiosyncrasies of your asshole.
Look, I mean, no one wants to be heard shitting, but it's better than being seen fucking shitting. Like you're just sitting there like a fucking.
Yeah, but it's paper thin. It's like those Shogun
yeah, but
fucking
you-
samurai
you-
houses that
you
they can
can't-
see your outline. It's
yeah,
like
but you can't see
No,
me.
what
you
Steve
know,
is getting
you
at.
can't
it's Mini Me and Austin Powers.
Yeah,
with
but then
the fucking apple.
the alternative is no doors. I'd rather you could barely see me than fucking you just see me like just sitting there.
What if you're a
fucking
weird
shitting my
shitter? What
ass
if you
off.
what if you like to Kobe them? What if you don't make contact?
Kobe.
What if you don't make contact and you're one of those splashers?
I think what Steve is trying to get at is that he's very, very
repressed?
not repressed.
I think I know what you're getting at. He's the type of guy that when he goes to
He's
the
vulnerable.
bathroom,
He's vulnerable. He's vulnerable.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he tries to not get the shit in the water. He tries to get it on the edge of the bowl.
Oh, that was him.
He wants
At the chalet.
He wants dry contact. So this when you flush, it's like it makes like a. And then
I'm glad it was you at the chalet that did
Yeah.
that. Good for you, man.
Oh, hey, you know.
must have been all those pierogies.
At least I wasn't the one in the fire pit.
Oh, hey! Oh,
that would be horrible.
Wow, that is dark.
Yeah.
Shit. Literally. But no, Franco Taddeo, great guy, great comic. Check out Laval en Rire, Festival Laval Laughs, October 2nd to the 9th, like we had mentioned. Then tickets are on sale now and selling very well. So, but I think it's that time of the day.
Are we doing
Personally, I think it's Steve, Tom. It's that time of the day.
I think it's that time of the day.
The Hype Man's Ethnic Song of the Week.
Yes, another week,
Another
another
week.
song.
Another segment. Look
Yeah.
at this.
And
Tell us, Hype. What do you have for us?
Hype.
so this time, okay, guys, we're going to the frigid north.
Ooh, it's cold. It's already cold here.
It is. So I took inspiration, actually. I've been playing a game lately. I've been telling you about it,
The
Tom.
gentle slopes of the Appalachian Mountains.
It's called Control by Finnish studio Remedy Entertainment. It's been
Wow. Is it Control with a K?
no,
All right.
it's spelled like normal.
All right.
Is it control with a troll at the end?
Uh,
2 L's? No.
He said it's spelled normally.
It's spelled normally. It's just control.
yeah, it's Control.
Okay.
It's the same studio that did the first 2 Max Paynes. So, yeah, no strangers to good quality.
Okay.
Based out of Espoo, Finland, which
Of course.
shout out to Children of Bodom, who
Yes.
the band is also from Espoo as
Love them.
Love them.
well. I do though.
Nobody
Uh,
No, we know you do.
nobody has ever had as many kids as the Children of Bodom.
So
It's true.
this track, it's a folky track, and it's by Jaakko Laitinen and Vara Raha. Laulun tule hasta.
Oh, a fade out this week. We have a fade to black.
I would part of that song.
Oh my god,
I would party.
that sounds like she ripped his heart out of his chest, and he's singing alone on his wedding day.
Well, funny you should mention that, Tom. I couldn't actually. I couldn't even find the lyrics in Finnish, let alone in English.
If you had to guess, best guess, educated guess.
It's time for another Hype Man Translates.
Tom, you know what? I hate to.
Hype man translates.
Tom, I hate to disagree with you, but while most songs I play on here are about like the devastations of love, this one I feel
like your life.
yeah, I feel like this one here is a little more about like some more folksy. It's more like, oh look, we're in Finland and there's there's snow, there's reindeer. There's probably some ancient legend of something in a cave nearby.
Some hunter stuck in the ice.
Yeah, but like some probably burly blonde hunter's gonna go kill it, and the day will be saved.
Well, is there in Finland? Is there a specific food that they eat there?
Yes, it's called wild foraged goods.
What does that include? Like vegetables,
berries, and
berries?
sticks,
chocolate?
I don't know the specifics of
elder geese.
Of what they kind of the national dishes of Finland. But a fun fact though is when the EU was moving the food, the European Union.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
No, the EU. It's like a big moose.
I thought it was a bird for a second.
It's like a.
Well, I'm getting to that actually. So they were talking about moving it from Parma to Finland or something, and Berlusconi's like, "Oh, the fuck do they know about food over there? They eat reindeer." So
Berlusconi, what a class act.
The man who smashed prostitutes as president.
Yeah, and in his typical fashion. But there was a pizza chain. Chain. Yeah. I said that right. Mm-hmm. In Finland, with that, like, just to spite it, made a pizza with like reindeer.
Oh wow, that's intense.
Wow.
Yeah, that is pretty intense.
Imagine the pizza chain was called Rudolph's.
I forgot what it was.
Could you see a Berlusconi? Like, do you miss him?
Yes. It was very.
I missed the stories.
It was very eventful. Well, I mean, now we have eventful news. It's just called CNN.
Yeah, but you know what? This was a fun eventful, not like the world.
It was before all the shit.
This was just like, what could he do next?
He was. You know what it was? He was just a regular rich person running a country.
He was just a regular rich Italian running a country.
Yeah. He wasn't like some he didn't have like. The typical, white ideology, whatever. He was fucking and sucking his way to the top.
Yeah, he just had his Berlusconi.
That's all it was.
Listen to his media outlets. He owns them all.
That's
kind of his practice.
He felt like
he still does.
Yeah, of course.
As far as I know, I know he had sold his, or at least most of his part of AC Milan, but I think he still owns all of like.
You're not a fan.
Telecommunication. No. We know what team I like.
No. We know what team he likes. Juventus.
Are you fucking serious?
Juventus.
I'm not.
He's gonna turn the table over.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. You fucking.
Anyways, so once again, what's the name and the name of the song and the artist? Por favor, or as they say in Finnish, I don't know.
So once again, that's Lalun Tule Hasta by Jaakko Laitinen and Vara Raha.
It's a duet.
I believe so. I only heard one person sing throughout the song, but I could be mistaken.
By the way, just for you, the way you say "I don't know" in Finnish.
Yeah.
Minä en tiedä.
Yeah, that.
Well, that sounds about right.
Okay. Everything she says sounds like a seizure.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, wow. What a great show.
Yeah.
I have to say for myself, it's a great show.
Yeah,
it's a great show.
It's great.
We asked great questions.
Yeah, we asked great. Well, I mean, I asked great questions, and
Franco had great answers.
Yeah, and you had good goat jokes.
I had goat jokes,
and Steve had his regular. I'm Stephen Palumbo, and this is my question.
Now it's time for your regularly structured question.
Fuck,
That's
what a
it was.
class act Steve is.
I
though.
know,
What a
Steve-
class act. I'm
Steve-
here like Howard Stern, like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, you know? And he's
Yeah.
like, what favorite city is yours in Canada?
And I'm in the back.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in the back thinking like, wow, like that fucking poor goat. How fucking fearful it must have
Fucking-
been. Just fucking shitting.
It all
itself
comes down to the goat.
up. Yeah.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
And with that, any closing remarks, Hype Man Steve?
well, I don't know. I thought my whole Finnish thing was pretty good. I want to leave off on that.
Fantastic. Chef Tom?
I mean, animals don't belong on the stage. Maybe
Okay.
you know,
And-
unless you're Gianni Fiaschi. You know what I mean?
And just like that, it's been Snobcast. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Dun, 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 dun,
Da, 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 da.